Chat, you guys are thinking, oh no, Zajef thinks it's cool, the Zajef curse is gonna activate. It won't. Zajef curse doesn't work anymore. Because they don't release bad characters anymore. Every character is power creep now. Zajef curse don't work no more. Lauma has a special charge attack, activates Spirit Shift. Lauma transforms into the Spirit Envoy of the Silent Grove, sprinting for up to 10 seconds at the cost of stamina. During this state, Lauma has increased interruption resistance. She can perform up to 2 consecutive jumps by consuming additional stamina. When it ends, it goes on cooldown. Cool. I don't really get what the point of this is, but okay. Elemental skill, Hallowed Hymn. Eternal Slumber. Silently chants an ancient hymn and summons the Frostgrove Sanctuary. The different effects based on whether the skill is tapped or held. Tap. Tap. Chants the Prayer of the Hunt, dealing AoE Dendro damage. Hold. Can be cast when Lauma has at least 1 Dewdrop. Consumes all Dewdrops to chant the Lullaby of Eternal Rest, dealing 1 instance of AoE Hydro damage and 1 instance of AoE Dendro damage that is treated as Lunar Bloom reaction damage. For each Dewdrop consumed, Lauma gains 1 stack of Moonchant, up to 3. Additionally, when her skill or Frostgrove Sanctuary hits enemies, their Dendro resistance and Hydro resistance are reduced. Hydro resistant reduced. Alright, you guys are seeing Dendro resistance and you're like, oh my god, I heckin' love Nilo. I'm hearing Hydro resistant reduced, and I'm thinking, oh, Nefilet is so barack, dude. Holy. Dude, Hyperbloom Nefilet. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Elemental Burst. Hallowed Hymn, the moon of many hearts. Let the wishes of all beings become the moonlight that illuminates the land. Lauma chants a sacred hymn of the far north and gains 18 stacks of Pale Hymn. If Lauma has Moonchant when casting Burst, or gains Moonchant within 15 seconds of casting it, Moonchant, quick reminder, is what she gains when she consumes Dewdrops on her hold skill, and Dewdrops is something you gain by triggering blooms. She will consume all stacks. For each stack consumes, she gains an additional 6 Pale Hymn stacks. This effect can trigger once per burst, and once again within the 15-second window after. When teammates trigger Bloom, Burgeon, Hyper Bloom, or Lunar Bloom, 1 Pale Hymn stack is consumed to increase the reaction's damage, scaling with Lauma's Elemental Mastery. If multiple enemies are hit, stacks are consumed based on the number of enemies. Each stack has an independent duration. Now, the interesting part here is this means that she's a character whose EM matters even as a trigger, which is pretty interesting. That means you definitely build her full EM no matter what. Is Dendro back? We still don't have the numbers, so we don't know. But maybe. Light of the Frosty Night, Moonshine Crescent. Bloom, Burgeon, Hyperbloom, and Lunar Bloom reactions triggered by the party can crit with a fixed 15% crit rate and 100% crit damage. This crit rate can stack with other similar effects. Within 20 seconds after casting skill, Lauma grants the following bonus, depending on Moonshine level. If the Moonshine is gibbous, so if you have 2 or more Nullcry characters, Lunar Bloom reaction dealt by the party gain 10 crit rate and 20 crit damage. So, by default, her presence in the party increases Dendro, like, Bloom-related reactions damage by 15%. And if she is paired with another Nullcry character, instead of 15, it's 30, right? Because 15% chance of 100 increased damage is 15% more damage, and 25% chance of 120 increased damage is 30% more damage. 3. Cleansing Waters of the Blessed Spirit. Each point of Lauma's EM provides 0.04 damage to Frostgrove Sanctuary up to 32%, which means this caps out at 800 EM. And minus 0.02% cooldown to Spirit Shift up to minus 20%. This one caps out at 1,000. But that's kind of weird. Why do you care about Spirit Shift cooldown? That's her exploration ability. Oh well. Moonshine's Blessing, Grace of 1,000 Voices. Convert Bloom reactions triggered by the party into Lunar Bloom. Increases the base damage of Lunar Bloom based on Lauma's EM up to 14%. Chat, I'm gonna be so for real with you guys right now. Lunar Bloom sounds like it fucking sucks ass. Okay? Because unlike Electrocharge, you actually have dedicated Hyper Bloom triggers. So current Hyper Bloom, you actually do, like, build full EM on your characters. But here's the thing, okay? Changes to Flowers of Paradise Lost artifact set. Unlike Hyper Bloom that gets its damage increased by 40%, Lunar Bloom gets its damage increased by 10%. This strongly hints at the EM scaling for Lunar Bloom being the same as the Lunar Charged EM scaling, which is much, much, much worse. And critting isn't enough to make up for that. Especially fixed crit rate. So here's the thing, okay? Pretty much the only way that they make Lunar Bloom really good is by Omega boosting the base damage, which technically is possible, I guess. But I don't know what to expect. Check her signature. Sure. Anyone want to link it? I can't be bothered trying to find it. When skill deals Hydro or Dendro damage, the equipping character gains EM for gains 60 EM. When nearby characters trigger Lunar Bloom, the equipping character gains 60 EM. On scripture, when both effects are active at once, all party members' bloom damage is increased by 120%, Hyper Bloom by 80%, Lunar Bloom by 40%. That's weird. This isn't that good, by the way, chat. The Hyper Bloom 80% damage is nothing. Maybe the Lunar Bloom is good. Because maybe for Lunar Bloom you build a lot of crit somehow. I don't know. But like on full EM, 80% on transformative scaling is nothing. It's like about 12-13% increased damage in practice. Like it's not actually nothing, but it's not worth a signature in 2025. But on characters where you don't build 1000 EM, on characters where you build a lot of crit, 40% Lunar Bloom damage will probably be a lot more significant. So I'm not sure yet, but oh well. In any case, unless your application is completely dog shit, Lauma Hyper Bloom is going to be a thing. 100%. Still 400 EM? I mean, sure, I guess, but like... Look at her C2. C1, after casting Skill or Burst, she gains an effect. While active, when a party member triggers Lunar Bloom, it heals the on-field character based on her EM. Whatever. That's actually completely dog shit. Wow, nobody cares. Jesus Christ, that's awful. C2, Ode of the Sacred Moon. Enhances Burst, Pale Hymn. Bloom version of Hyper Bloom damage, gain an extra bonus equal to 500% of Lauma's EM. That's probably flat damage post EM multiplier, right? So it's probably not that much. Right, because base damage for Hyper Bloom is what? Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. However, Lauma also directly buffs Hyper Bloom by giving it the chance to crit. But for the rest, you're right, yeah. Anyways, so it's like a 16% DPS upgrade to your Hyper Bloom damage. If it works like I expect it to. So it's pretty dog shit, actually. Like, it's not completely dog shit, but it's not very good. The good part of it is if you use her for Lunar Bloom. Because for Lunar Bloom, you get an effect that's probably fairly analogous, right? Fairly similar. But you additionally get 40% reaction damage. So it's a massive, massive difference. Can her C1 replace the healer slot on Nilo teams? Maybe. Probably. C4, when attacks from her off-field skill hits enemies, she restores energy, whatever, who cares. C6, when Frostgrove Sanctuary hits enemies, it deals additional instances of AoE damage, treated as Lunar Bloom reaction damage. This damage scales off of 320% of Lauma's EM. Does not consume any Pale Hymn, but instead grants 2 stacks of Pale Hymn and refreshes the duration of Pale Hymn. Trigger up to 8 times. That's kind of crazy, right? Like that's a lot of like buffs that stack with one another, right? Like your EM you end up with her Sig 265, 120, 187 times 3. She's probably EM Ascension, about 100 in substats, and you give her no. Lunar Bloom. When you have a Lauma on the team, and probably Aino too, you will Bloom is transferred to Lunar Bloom, but only if the Bloom explosion happens, right? Like the Bloom core works the exact same way, but if you let it expire, or if you have the Bountiful Bloom from Nilo, like when it explodes to deal damage, it's Lunar Bloom instead of Bloom. Anyways, plus, what is it, 80 from the set? Right, and then does she get any EM to herself? No, right? EM multiplier for Lunar Bloom will be probably same scaling as Lunar Charged. That's what seems to be the case. But we also get, if you have Sig, 40%. We also get another 40% from C2. Is that it? Another 14% base damage. So 1.8. And then another 0.2 from Flop. So 2. Times 1.14. The crit is fixed. So crit multiplier is going to be 1.3. Which means that the C6 damage itself, which is one of the few numbers we already have, damage is going to be motion value. It's increased by the C2 probably, so that's 250, and then another 320. So 250, 320. Which means the damage of the C6 will be motion value times EM multiplier times crit multiplier times 1.1 for res multiplier. Oh, there's another fucking 25% damage here. So 52k from the C6 procs. That's not that much, actually. She also shreds Dendro? Does she? Or is that? Oh yeah, but we don't know about how much yet. That's true. That's less than I expected, honestly. Although, wait, there's no limit to this one. Oh, never mind. That's probably kind of good, huh? We'll get to the rare lo-fi playlist. You know what? Sure. Maybe it's ×3 as well. Oh, you're probably right, actually. Since it's direct talent damage, it probably is ×3 as well. So it would be 150k on each proc, 8 procs. Yeah, that's a lot, actually. And then it can get its damage increased by Nilo too, but we don't know by how much yet, right? I mean, this is C6 stuff, like, who cares? But the thing is, it's the only numbers we have, right? Everything else on the kit, we don't have the numbers yet, but the C6 numbers we have for some reason. It's fucking annoying as hell. There's a second page of details. Is there? Oh, there is. But this doesn't say anything. When she casts Burst. This doesn't say anything. This doesn't say anything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really hard to evaluate Lauma until we have any actual numbers. It says app is every 2 seconds. It says hits are every 2 seconds. That probably means app is every 2 seconds, but that's not guaranteed. Why does she buff both Bloom and Lunar Bloom? That is a good question. I don't think it's possible to trigger non-loop. Actually, no. It is. Is it not? Because Lunar Bloom only happens if you have dewdrops. Is it not? So if you consume dewdrops from her passive, like for other things, you lose the dewdrops effect for the bloom. That is kind of a cool thing, though, I'll say. That's a cool idea. Like, I'm really worried when it comes to her power level and her balance. But, like, design-wise, I think her kit is really cool. Like, actually a really cool kit. Chat, you guys are thinking, oh no, Zajef thinks it's cool, the Zajef curse is gonna activate. It won't. Zajef curse doesn't work anymore. Because they don't release bad characters anymore. Every character is power creep now. Zajef curse don't work no more. Elemental skill. Thought Catcher. Throws the Thought Catcher forward, dealing hydro damage and pulling Aino towards the target location. So it's a dash. Upon finishing the movement, deals AoE hydro damage to nearby enemies. And you can aim it if you hold. Burst. Throws specially designed super water spraying device Chill Out Duck to deploy a targeted water cooling zone. While active, Chill Out Duck intermittently fires water projectiles at nearby enemies, dealing hydro damage. Okay. Passive. Modular high efficiency operation. When Aino is in the team, she provides bonus effects based on the team's lunar phase. If the lunar phase is at least crescent, her burst is enhanced. Chill Out Duck fires water projectiles at shorter intervals and the AoE hydro damage is increased. Additionally, while Aino is in the team, the lunarity level is increased by 1. I think this is just the lunar phase level. Structured power boost. Aino's elemental burst damage is increased by an amount equal to 50% of her elemental mastery. That's kind of dog shit. Unless it hits really often, this is like awful. 50% EM scaling is nothing. And okay, she detects non-cry regional specialties. Constellations. C1. After casting skill, Aino gains 80 EM, whatever. C2. While burst is active, if Aino is off field, it fires additional water projectiles. This projectile deals AoE hydro damage based on 100% of her EM plus 300. This is no damage, but it's 1 extra application every 5 seconds. That's cool, I guess. Why do people say she's good? So far, that doesn't look too good. C3 skill level, no, burst level. C4, when Thought Caller hits an enemy, she restores energy. That's not that good. C5, not that good. C6, for 15 seconds after casting burst, current active nearby character gains 15% increased damage for the following reactions. Electro Charge, Bloom, Lunar Charge, Lunar Bloom. And if you're Crescent, these reactions gain an additional 20 damage bonus. I see. That's why. That's why people say she's good. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it now. That's why. Oh, man. Bro, her application and her damage better be good, because otherwise this is the sort of character that is completely worthless until C5 and then at C6 becomes actually good. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, well. 5.0 artifacts added to Strongbox, but no Long Nights Out. No!